Welcome to this explainer on personal finance. Today, we've got a seriously fascinating journey ahead of us. We're going to break down the absolute essentials of money management, pulling directly from the insights of Ranveer Alabadia. The goal here? It's simple, but it's a total game changer. We're going to completely demystify how money actually works and give you a rock-solid step-by-step roadmap to financial freedom. If you've ever felt completely overwhelmed by all the financial jargon out there, you are absolutely in the right place.
All right, let's jump right in with a massive misconception, one that literally derails most people's financial journeys before they even begin. We're all basically raised to believe that a standard bank savings account is the safest possible place to stash our cash, right? You earn your paycheck, you park it in the bank, and you feel totally secure. But here is the shocking truth. Keeping all your money just sitting idle in a basic savings account might actually be making you poor day by day. You aren't just missing out on growth, you're actively losing value. To fix this blind spot, we're going to follow a straightforward 5-step playbook. We'll quickly cover the savings account trap, active versus passive income, the science of savings, assets versus liabilities, and finally, the investment playground. Following this flow is your key to unlocking financial freedom.
So let's start right off with step 1, the savings account trap, and exactly why simply saving your money just isn't enough.
The real invisible villain attacking your savings boils down to one word: inflation. By definition, inflation is just the rate at which the general cost of living increases over time. Because the price of literally everything, your groceries, your rent, everyday services, continuously creeps up, the actual purchasing power of your money actively drops. Sure, your money is technically still sitting there safely in the bank, but its actual strength, it's completely evaporating. When you map out the purchasing power of money over time, the drop-off is honestly shocking. Over a period of, say, 10 years, the exact same numerical amount of cash in your account is going to buy you significantly less. Think of it like this. If your cash isn't growing at a rate that beats inflation, you are quite literally moving backwards financially. Its value a decade from now is just going to be a fraction of its value today.
Which perfectly tees up chapter 2, active versus passive income. Because, as it turns out, how you actually earn your money matters just as much as how you save it. There is a massive, fundamental difference between these two wealth-building concepts. Active income is what we're all used to, working for your money. It's your salary, your day job, basically trading your time for a paycheck. But passive income flips that entire script. Passive income is your money working for you. A great way to think about it, active income is the initial seed you earn from your daily grind, but passive income is the tree you grow from that seed. It's a tree that eventually bears fruit and makes you money while you sleep, completely independent of your time. So how exactly do we get that tree to grow? Let's turn to section 3, the science of savings, which is literally the blueprint to achieving freedom by your mid-30s. This sequence acts as your literal roadmap. Step 1, earn active income through your job. Step 2, save scientifically, meaning don't just blindly hoard cash. Step 3, invest to actively multiply those savings. And finally, step 4, achieve financial freedom. That's the magical point where your passive income completely covers your cost of living.
But here's the catch. Saving scientifically requires serious intention. As the fintech brand Squirrel famously asks in our source material, plan kya hai? Or translated, what's the plan? You literally cannot just save aimlessly. You have to take full charge of your personal goals by having a highly concrete plan for exactly where your savings are going next so they can actually outpace inflation.
And executing that plan hinges completely on section 4, assets versus liabilities, which is perfectly illustrated by the pocket analogy. Jumping back to step 3 of our blueprint, investing and multiplying, your success relies entirely on knowing exactly what to buy. You've got to master the difference between an asset and a liability. To keep it as simple as possible, think about your pockets. Assets are things that constantly put cash into your pocket over time. Liabilities, those are things that continuously take money out of your pocket. Buying a house to rent out to tenants, that's an asset. Buying an expensive car that drops in value the second you drive it off the lot and needs constant maintenance, well, that's a liability draining your pocket.
So if you want to retire early, the absolute golden rule of personal finance is this. You must focus your energy entirely on acquiring assets. Every extra dollar you have should be deployed into something that is eventually going to pay you back.
All right, let's bring it all together in our final section,
the investment playground, and find out exactly where you can multiply your money.
Now, if you're just starting out, figuring out what assets to buy can feel super intimidating. But according to the source material, beginners should really just focus their attention on two primary safe havens: real estate and on-paper assets like mutual funds. Real estate is highly tangible and reliable, while on-paper assets give you incredible flexibility and diversification without needing a massive amount of upfront capital.
And speaking of on-paper assets, things like mutual funds are incredibly accessible right now. You don't need to be a Wall Street insider to jump in. By using modern fintech tools like the Squirrel app highlighted in the source, you can seamlessly automate the whole process. These platforms allow you to effortlessly turn your active income into growing, passive income-generating assets with just a few quick taps on your phone.
All right, you now have the complete overarching view of how money actually works. You know, inflation is the enemy, you know, active income is just the seed for passive income, and you know that acquiring